Welcome back to the Stop the Vanilla podcast, where we help leaders achieve what they want in their business, their career, and their life with the right plan implemented with the right talent. Now, when I ask leaders what their number one challenge is right now, almost all of them talk about it being in talent, with people issues. Not only having enough talent, but having the right talent in each position. So in this week's podcast, we're going to talk about how to create a talent plan for your business that will turn your number one challenge of talent into a competitive advantage. So in our Achieve What You Want podcast series, we've discussed how to create a vision for your business and your department, a vision for your career, and a vision for your life. In today's podcast, we're going to discuss why and how to create a talent plan to achieve your vision for your business or your department. In podcast number 5, we reviewed how to create a vision for your business by answering 7 simple questions. And I want to encourage you to create a vision for your business, because right behind it, then we can help you create that 3-year talent plan to achieve that 3-year vision. So let's say that you developed a vision for December 31st of 2022. That would be a 3-year vision. Today, we're going to talk through how you create a 3-year talent plan to achieve that vision. And so that's what we're going to go through today. So the first question you got to ask yourself is, why should your company, why should your department have a talent plan? And the single most important reason or answer to that question is because by having a talent plan, you are proactively managing the number one issue that most companies are facing, and that's their talent. By putting a talent plan together, you build bench strength, you create a high-performance team. And when there's an unexpected change on your team or in your organization regarding talent, you are ready to respond to it. You are prepared to quickly fill that gap if somebody left or if somebody retired. You're ready to replace that person with the right skill set. And every year, this is about taking your strategy and your talent to the next level. And then the next year, up your strategy, up your talent. Every year you take your strategy and talent to the next level, you're going to create distance on your competition. They're going to be in your rear view mirror. And one of the last reasons why you want a talent plan, and this just comes from a lot of the leaders that I've helped create talent plans for their businesses, you just have peace. I mean, it's peace and comfort knowing that you have a talent plan that is going to execute your strategy, that is going to achieve your vision. And so not only understanding where we're going, but how we're going to make it happen is huge to really being at peace as you lead your organization or lead your department. So how do you create this talent plan? So first thing is really you got to finalize your vision. So an example is a 12/31/2022 vision. And so get that finalized, and that describes what you want your company to look like by 12/31/2022. It's not a vision statement, as we covered in podcast number 5. It's a clear and vivid, descriptive, subjective, and objective target for your business. It's a bullseye of what you want your company to look like in 3 years. It just creates immense strategic clarity. And once you have that vision created and finalized, you have those 7 questions to create your vision answered. Creating a talent plan to deliver on that vision is a relatively simple process. So let's talk about how we do that. So you have this 12/31/2022 vision, and how do you create the talent plan? Fundamentally, if I put it as simple as possible, it's what does your functional organizational structure look like by 12/31/2022 to achieve that vision? So for example, if your revenue for your financial vision is going to be 100 million or 5 million, whatever the number is for you, what does our structure need to look like to deliver that vision, to deliver that much revenue? And so what does your functional structure need to look like by 12/31/2022 to achieve that vision? Simply put, that is how you create a talent plan for your organization. And once you have that functional structure, that 3 years out, and you know your current structure, what's the talent plan to go from your current structure to that new functional structure? And that is what a talent plan is. It takes you from where you are today to where you need to be by 12/31/2022 to achieve that vision. At the highest level, that's what creating a talent plan is about. So let's dive a little bit deeper into that. So when it comes to creating the functional structure, and we usually do this within homework teams in our planning process, and each homework team presents what they think the functional structure should look like in 3 years. What does the functional structure need to look like by 12/31/2022 to achieve our vision? And it's just the functions. You do not use names. You don't think about current employees when developing the structure, and you really just kind of paint out the boxes and the functions that you need within a structure. So, for example, in my last company that I ran, a food manufacturing company, our competence, our differentiation, our mint chocolate chip is that we could switch our lines over faster than anybody in our business, in our contract manufacturing business. And our clients loved that because if they were out of stock on an item, they could quickly email us or call us and say, hey, switch the lines over. We need Amaretto hot chocolate. We need it now. And we'd be able to switch the lines over in about 15, 20 minutes. And then that allowed us to ship product that same day. That's what we built our organization on. And we went from 5 to 30 million in 4.5 years because of that. But where did the talent plan come into there? When our expertise was not in our R&D, it was not in our formulation capabilities. Our competence was in our maintenance team, our maintenance department, all of our equipment. And so our functional structure was created to support that competence. So we had one person in the lab, that's it. We did not have 10 people developing formulas. That was not our differentiation. Our differentiation was our ability to change our lines over. So we had like 12 people in our maintenance department. We had one of the best maintenance leaders in the industry. And so your functional structure needs to be designed to deliver what you have in that vision. Now, it's just an example of how I did it in our last organization. So you develop the functional structure that's needed to deliver that vision that you've created. And then once that structure is complete, you've answered the question, what does my functional structure need to look like by the time I achieve that vision? In this example, 12/31/2022. And once you have that laid out, now the company leader and others can be involved and to start putting the plan together to move you from our current structure to our new structure. And so typically what we do is we encourage that leader to sit down with each member of the leadership team and the planning team and other people in their organization and really just have a conversation, with the functional structure in front of them. What are your career goals and ambitions? Where do you feel you can bring the greatest value to this organization in this new structure that we created? And really just have a conversation about what their goals and objectives are and how they best fit into the company plan. And then based on everyone's input, the leader starts finalizing that organizational structure and that talent plan, and they start filling in the names in the boxes, putting the names in the functions. And as they talk to people, and as they talk to people about what they want to accomplish and where they fit in, and where do they think other people fit in, you just start filling out this functional structure by 12/31/2022. And by the time you're done doing that, there's going to be empty boxes on that structure. And those are the boxes that you may fill through hire, or a new hire, or you may fill through internal promotion. But you start labeling our first hire will be this skill set. Our second hire will be this skill set, as our budget, calls for, as our budget can handle another new hire. So you start filling in from the current structure to the new structure. And again, you're going to have empty boxes, and you may have some people left over that don't fit in any of the boxes on your functional structure. And that's when you start making decisions. You start making decisions like, does this person, can they fit into our organization, or do we have to exit this person? Or through development, can we develop them into a role that's in that functional structure? So you just start putting all the pieces of the puzzle together, because you have what the team member wants to accomplish, you got their behavioral science results, so you clearly understand where their strengths are. And you just start putting all the pieces of the puzzle together, and then you start figuring out your talent plan to move from your current structure to that new structure that you have. And you lay it all out, and it really comes together nicely. And so when you're done with this process, you have a vision of what you want the organization to look like in 3 years, and you have the 3-year talent plan to achieve it, what makes this process so simple but so powerful. Because oftentimes the greatest challenge that we're going to have in achieving our vision is the talent to do it. And this process of creating this talent plan that fits your vision is exactly how you do it. And so once you, as the leader, once you fill in all the boxes and you figure out what our prioritized hires are and what we're going to do with certain decisions on certain talent, certain team members, you now can define the transitional plan to that new hire, or that new structure, excuse me. Some companies will, hey, Monday we're moving to the new structure. Other companies will transition over that next 3-year time period and transition more, I guess, a little bit at a time, if you will, to get to that functional structure. So that is how you create a talent plan. Now, as you're going along doing this in the process, all the decisions that you need to make regarding your talent plan will come forward. So for example, if you have a person that doesn't necessarily have the skill sets that fit any one of those functions that you design in a new structure, you're going to have to make a decision on that new person. Do we develop them into a different position? Do we help them find a new occupation or a new career within our company? Do we exit them from our business? And that's where companies can make the decisions that fit the values of their organization. I've been with many leaders as they're finalizing their talent plan, and they have a family member in the business that doesn't necessarily fit exactly what we're looking for, but they're willing to accept what they won't get out of that position if they put that family member in there. And so those are the types of decisions that you'll come across. And believe me, there's a lot of decisions that you will face as you put this talent plan together. But the key here is that those decisions are proactive. They're not reactive. They're not after somebody's already left our organization, or we figured out that we don't have a skill set. This is all figuring out what steps you're going to take in your talent plan for the next 3 years. And I can just tell you, when I get done with this process with leaders, they are at such peace, because they now have strategic clarity and they now have role clarity, not only for themselves, but everybody in their organization. And I believe those are two fundamental responsibilities that leaders have: to create strategic clarity, where are we going, and to create role clarity, what is my role in accomplishing that, in where we're going. And so creating a vision and a talent plan to achieve it will give you that. Now, some of the benefits that you're going to get out of this: number one, you're going to increase your role clarity. I mean, we take behavioral science assessments when we start every strategy and talent planning process, and there's always low role clarity. You would think it's relatively simple for people to understand their roles, but I can tell you right now, one of the greatest inefficiencies in most organizations is low role clarity. Not exactly sure how my roles fit in with the person that I work with, not exactly sure what decision-making responsibilities I have. There's just a ton of low role clarity, and increasing that role clarity will allow your organization just to accelerate and get more done. We're going to make sure that all duties and responsibilities are assigned, that there's clear accountability, that the structure of our organization supports our vision and supports our strategy, and then really laying out exactly what skill sets we don't have and what skill sets we need to either go out and find or develop within our organization. I can just tell you, the process of creating your 3-year vision and in creating a 3-year talent plan to achieve it will fundamentally change how you manage talent in your organization. And when you fundamentally change how you manage the number one challenge in your organization, you're going to see significant results. I mean, I see organizations just start really dominating their industry, start really putting a lot to their top and bottom line by making sure they have a clear vision and a clear talent plan. So that is how you do that. And if you can go to stopthevanilla.com and get the template to create your vision. which is podcast number 5. And you also can go to the website to get the templates to create your talent plan, which we covered here today. There is nothing you can't achieve with the right plan and the right talent. And having a 3-year vision and a 3-year talent plan will help you achieve what you want in your business. Always remember, those who plan profit. I'm your ice cream man, stop me when I'm passing by. Oh my, I'm your ice cream man, stop me when I'm passing by.